Hi everyone, welcome back. Today is a really exciting video. I've never done anything like this before, but today's video is in collaboration with my friend Martina Lilly here on YouTube. I know so many of you watch her already, but if you do not, you definitely need to. I get so much high-end makeup recommendations from her. It's insane. She is just such a lovely person. She lives in Australia, so she has that beautiful Australian accent that I absolutely love. I could listen to it all day, every day. But apart from that, she is just another fellow makeup lover, and we definitely connected. We had the chance to talk on FaceTime. We went through each other's makeup collections, and she picked out a full face of makeup for me, and I picked out a full face of makeup for her. So that video will be up on her channel, and then today I'm going to be using all the makeup that she picked out for me. She talks about all the high-end things. So Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, Givenchy, YSL, all of the high-end makeup, you will find it on her channel. And I know if you like my videos, you will love her too. So definitely go check her out. I will have her channel and her video listed in the description box. And I'm so excited for this video. I've never done a collab video before, but I'm so happy to be doing my first one with her. And if you are new to my channel and coming from Martina's channel, my name is Blair, and I also do all kinds of makeup content here on YouTube 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I hope you'll stick around. Subscribe to me. Definitely go subscribe to her. And let's just get into this makeup. I cannot wait. All right, let's get into it. I'm actually going to start with eyes and brows today. She typically does her brows and her eyes first. I don't. I typically do complexion first, but I feel like based on this eyeshadow that she chose, I need to do the eyes first so I can kind of tailor the rest of my face to what I have on my eyes. So we're gonna do that first, but I'm gonna do brows first. She picked the Refi Brow Sculpt for brows. So I'm gonna apply this first. This is one of those things you definitely wanna do before you do anything else if you apply this, because it's pretty thick and you will possibly get foundation and other things kind of mixed in there with your brows if you don't do this first. So I'm gonna go in and laminate my brows with this. So this is kind of a difficult product sometimes to work with. If you get too much product in your brows, it can be kind of hard to work it out, but I usually just try to kind of wipe some of the excess off before I go in, because it can be a little bit tricky to work with if you don't. I don't think I've ever tried anything that makes my brows look as fluffy as this stuff does, but you do kind of have to practice with it. So once you kind of work it in, then you can take the other end, which has this brush, and then this side just has like tiny little teeth, but I usually take the brush side and kind of brush through them a little bit. And then I'm just gonna kind of smooth them out, kind of brush them down a little bit. I don't want them super, super fluffy, but you can definitely get that effect if that's what you're wanting. All right, so now that I've got the Refi Brow Sculpt on, the other brow product that she chose is the Rare Beauty Shape and Fill Brow Duo, which is one of my favorite brow products I've tried ever. I love this product. So you get a darker powder in here and a lighter one. I love this so much. I have never used this product with the Refi Brow Sculpt in first though, so I don't know how that's gonna go, but we will try it. So I'm gonna use the little brush that actually comes with this product, and I usually use mostly the darker shade, so I'm gonna go in with that first, and we'll just try this out. Like I said, I've not tried this product with the Brow Sculpt before. I love this Rare Beauty product because it's just a very natural look that you get in your brows when you use this, and I love that. I am a very big fan of a more natural looking eyebrow. I mean, I love to fill them in, don't get me wrong, but I love just like a nice natural bushy eyebrow, and I feel like this is that, but it just gives you a little bit more in areas where you need it, you know? Okay, that worked so incredibly well. I actually love how that applied in my brows. I wasn't sure about the powder with the Refi, but that worked so well. I love that. Okay, thank you, Martina. That was a really good combo. All right, let's move on to the eyes. First, we'll do a little bit of eye primer. So she chose the Makeup by Mario Master Eye Prep and Set in the shade Light. So I'm just gonna mix a little bit of both colors because the light one is pretty light and the darker one is pretty dark. So I find mixing is usually the way to go. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of the powder that's down here, which I actually never use ever, but I figure since we have it out, I will go ahead and just lightly set that down with some of the powder. For eyeshadow, of course, Martina chose Pat McGrath for me. She chose the Moonlit Seduction palette, which is, well, I was gonna say it's my only Mothership palette, but I do also have the, I always forget the name of this one, the Celestial Nirvana from 2 years ago, the holiday palette from 2 years ago. She said I could use a little bit of both because I do sometimes struggle with Pat McGrath matte eyeshadows because Moonlit Seduction, it is beautiful, but I will say the 3 mattes in here I do not find to be the easiest to work with. But what's interesting is the mattes in this palette I find a lot easier, and I love this matte shade, of course, because I'm a neutral kind of person. I love this shade, so she did tell me I could reach into this palette if I felt the need to. So we're gonna go in with this, but the one shade she told me I needed to use is probably my least favorite in the Moonlit Seduction palette. And I know I'm a weirdo, I guess, but this one, I think it's VR Sextasy maybe. This really beautiful, but just not really my preference in terms of eyeshadow colors. But this shade here that has like a blue purple shift to it, she told me I had to use that shade. So I figured we will go in with that shade first because I kind of need to center everything around that color. So we're gonna go into this shade first. I'm gonna use a Luxie 213 brush and apply this on the lid so that this can be the base of this makeup look because she gave me specific instructions. I needed to use this color. It is beautiful. I wish the shift in it wasn't blue. That's my thing with it. I'm not a huge blue eyeshadow person. And I feel like this definitely has blue shift in it, but it also has purple, which I do like purple. And it kind of depends on the way you're looking at it. So I'm gonna apply this all over on both eyes. All right, obviously I could go in with my finger and add some more and make it more intense. I might do that at some point, but for now I'm just gonna stick to this. And I am gonna go into Celestial Nirvana. I'm just gonna use a little bit of this matte brown shade right here. I love this shade. I wish this shade was in Moonlit Seduction. I would love Moonlit Seduction more if it had a shade like this in it. So I'm taking a Sigma, I don't know what brush this is. It's kind of worn off, but I am gonna go in to the crease with this. Yeah, I love this shade. So if you're new to my channel, this is kind of pretty far outside my comfort zone. I am very much like a natural, neutral, I guess my makeup style is just pretty natural. So I don't do a ton in terms of color and really adventurous things with my makeup, and especially not really my eyes. So that's where Martina and I are different, because she's very good at doing or using all different colors, and I am very much like a neutrals kind of person. But I like a good challenge to do something a little bit different sometimes. So I'm excited to use all her choices for me. All right, I am gonna mix a little bit of this matte and this matte. So this one is more, it's almost like a peachy color, and then this one's a purple. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of both with a 202 brush from BK Beauty. And I'm gonna add a little bit of those shades to my outer corner, just a little bit of both, because I don't want too much purple, and I don't want too much of that peachy color, so that's why I'm taking a little bit of both shades. All right, I'm gonna go back into Moonlit Seduction now, and I'm gonna take a little bit of this shade right here, this like light kind of champagne color, and I think I'm just gonna use my finger for this. Yeah, and I'm gonna add this kind of just in this very inner corner. Almost kind of bring it up a little bit, like into the crease, because I have more of a hooded lid. So if I keep everything on the lid, you can't really see anything. Or you can, but you can't see a lot. So I'm just gonna bring a little bit of this in this inner corner and up a little bit, and it just like brings a little bit more brightness to this area. I think I'm gonna stop right here with the eyes for right now. Okay, I'm gonna take a makeup wipe now, and I'm just gonna clean up this edge of the eyeshadow just lightly. I didn't go too far outside, but I don't want it to like hang down too far, so I'm just gonna lightly clean this up just a little, which is definitely a perk of doing your eyes first. All right, let's move into the face. So she picked two priming type products. The first one is the Valentino V Lighter. This is the shade Rosa. So I'm gonna use this first. So I'm gonna take a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna use a brush to apply this. And I'm just gonna kind of put it on the cheekbones. This product is beautiful, but it is very, very highly fragranced, just FYI. So I'm just gonna kind of put it there. I mean, it's real fragranced. Okay, and then she also picked the Tarte Smoothing Primer, the Timeless Smoothing Primer. So I'm gonna use a little bit of this just right here where I tend to notice my pores. Actually, I've just kind of discovered this product. If you saw, I forget what video, but one of my recent videos, I think it was my Shop My Stash actually, but I got this out and used it, and I forgot how much of a difference this makes in terms of smoothing your skin. Like, look at this side and look at that side, just with that little bit of product. It is crazy. If you have pores, a lot of texture, I would definitely recommend looking into this primer, because I don't have super oily skin. I don't have oily skin at all, and I don't have a ton of pore issues, but I do definitely notice them right here in my T-zone the most. And I'm telling, like, I can see this immediately when I put it on. Like, I can see a noticeable difference. It's kind of crazy. I mean, do you see how that just smoothed my skin right there? It's crazy. I'm so glad she picked this, because ever since I used it for that last video, I love this. This is a great product. All right, for corrector, she chose the Exa High Fidelity Color Corrector in Peach, which is a great one. So I'm gonna use some of this. I wanna say when we were talking and she chose this one, she was saying that you can't get this one in Australia, sadly. Hopefully at some point you can, but as of right now, I don't think that you can, which is a shame because this is such a good corrector. For foundation, she chose the Gucci 24-Hour Breathable Luminous Matte Foundation. I really like this one. I've had it for a little while. It's very, very full coverage, so it's definitely appropriate with this type of eye look. It's definitely more of like a full glam type of foundation. So I wear this shade 160N. This shade is okay for me. It's not great, but it should be all right. And I'm gonna blend that with a 106 brush from BK Beauty. So you can see how much this spreads and gives you coverage. So I'm gonna go in kind of lightly with it at first. So we, like I said in the intro, we had a FaceTime call with each other to pick out this makeup, and we talked a lot, but we went through each other's collections and like drawer by drawer, and she picked these products and then I picked products for her. But literally it was the most fun ever. We were on the phone for almost 3 hours and it did not seem like it at all. Time just flew by. So hopefully we can do one of these again because it was so much fun. All right, for concealer, she picked two. So she wanted me to mix these two. So the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Radiant Skin Concealer and the Kulfi Concealer. I have never mixed these two before, so this will definitely be a new combination. So I'm gonna take Charlotte Tilbury first. Martina actually mixes her concealers a lot, she was telling me. I don't really do that often. So I have Charlotte Tilbury in shade number 4, and then the Kulfi in Ice Ice Berry, which I think is the lightest shade. And I'm gonna blend that in with the FO3 from Sigma. This actually might be like the perfect combination because the Kulfi concealer is very liquidy. It's a totally different texture than the Charlotte Tilbury. The Charlotte Tilbury is more of like almost like a whipped consistency, like a moussey texture almost. So those two actually do look beautiful together. I don't know, I guess it's the mixture of those two textures really pairs well. So you get a lot of moisture from this one, from Kulfi, but then this one is that different like moussey kind of texture, kind of similar to like the Shiseido concealer. That's interesting. Wow, I love that. All right, for bronzer, we picked a cream and a powder. So the cream that she picked is the Persona Cream Bronzer in the shade Dune. So I am not gonna draw this on. You can do that with this one and it will blend, but I am actually gonna put it on the back of my hand like this and apply it from the back of my hand just because this is a really warm bronzer, and since I'm gonna go in with a little bit of powder bronzer too, I don't wanna go in with too much of it. Well, yeah, I'm gonna take a different BK Beauty 106 because I love it so much. I have many of them just laying around. And I'm gonna get some of this bronzer kind of worked in to the brush and just start lightly applying a little bit of this. I just find when I apply bronzers like this, I can really control it a lot better and I don't get too much product. But this brush just applies everything so beautifully. If you have this brush and you've never tried it for cream bronzer or blush, definitely try it. I use it and recommend it all the time. I a lot of times use mine for foundation, but it also works beautifully used this way, just for a cream, really any cream or liquid products. It's such an amazing brush. I think I could definitely speak for Martina in that after our phone meeting that we had for the first time when we went through our collections and picked out these products, I definitely left that conversation with an entirely new list of products that I want to try. And I think she did the same. So now I have so many more things that I'm curious about and I want to try. It's crazy. So I've already got my list going for the next time there's a Sephora sale or any kind of sale, or just when I feel like buying something. Now I have a whole list of her recommendations. If you really love makeup, there's nothing better, in my opinion, than going or seeing somebody else's makeup collection, just because it's so interesting to see like what other people have, or at least it is to me. And then you get to kind of hear like their thoughts on a product that maybe you were interested in. All right, we actually picked Martina picked 2 cream blushes for me to decide between. I'm not sure which one I want to use. So she picked Teddy from Persona, which is a really beautiful nude, kind of like a terracotta color, I guess, which looks like that. And then the other one is Patrick Ta, She's So LA, which is kind of a similar tone. Okay, yeah, they're very, very similar. So this is Patrick Ta and that's Teddy. I guess we'll go Teddy since we used Persona bronzer. We're gonna take a little bit of Teddy and I'm gonna apply this the same way just so I don't get too much. And I'm just gonna lightly start tapping this on. So you could get a lot more pigment from this. I'm just kind of going in really lightly with it. Teddy is such a unique color to my collection. I feel like I don't really have a ton of blushes in this like bronzy peachy tone. All right, next I'm gonna do a little bit of this highlighter. This is a cream highlight from Surat, the Torche Lumiere in Rose Diamante. It's like a light pink highlight. It's really, really pretty. I don't want a ton of this, so I'm just gonna take a little bit on my finger. And I'm really just gonna put this on this very top of my cheekbone and kind of connect it up to the eye right here. All right, let's do some powders now. The concealer combo, you guys, next level, those two together. Thank goodness, Martina, you suggested those two together because I have never done that, but they look phenomenal together. So if you have those two, try mixing them. We're gonna set with a little bit of powder, and she picked the One Size, the new pink powder. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna put this mainly like in the T-zone. I don't find with this Gucci foundation that I need a whole lot of powder. So this powder is like super, super pink. So I'm taking this with a little Morphe A14 brush. And I'm just gonna kind of lightly dust it right here. Just to kind of set. You see how blurring that powder is though? It is extremely smoothing on the skin. But I do find this powder formula, if you've not tried it, it's a little bit on the thicker side. So it's not a super finely milled powder like the Givenchy Prisme Libre. This one is totally different. So I'm just lightly Adding this to the center of the face, mainly focusing it like right here in this inner corner. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of bronzer now, powder bronzer. She chose the new Surratt Artistique, I think is what they're called, Artistique bronzers. This one is in the shade Soleil Doux, I think is how you say it, but these are such beautiful bronzers. There are two shades. This is the lighter one, but you guys, they are so beautiful. If you're familiar with Surratt powders, they are extremely finely milled and just, they're not like anything else. And these powders are just stunning. So I was very happy that she chose this one. So I'm just lightly going around and tapping over everything with this, and I'm using the 104 from BK Beauty. All right, for a powder blush, we pulled out a bunch of blushes. So the Patrick Ta you saw in She's So LA. We also pulled this one out, but I don't think I'm gonna want this for this vibe. I don't know about peach with this. I don't know, I could be wrong. But I also have this, the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palette. And I know she wanted me to use the highlight in here, this pink highlight, but I might also mix a little bit of these blushes too and do that for powder blush. All right, so I took a little bit of both shades, the more nude Pillow Talk and then just a little bit of that pink. And I'm using the Smashbox Buildable Cheek Brush, which is, it's just perfect. I know she loves this one too. It's like just fluffy enough. I love it. And I'm using a really light hand with this because I don't want to go overboard. And then I'll take a little bit of the pink highlight in here. So this one with a 112 brush from BK Beauty. And I'm going to add a little bit of this kind of in the same spot that we put that Surratt pink highlight. Oh, so pretty. This color is like the perfect pairing with that Surratt highlight. So I'm going back into Moonlit Seduction now. I'm going to take the dark brown shadow down here. I'm using a little A18 from Morphe. And I'm just going to add this along the lash line, but I'm mainly focusing it on like the outer half of my eye, just to add a little bit of definition there. And then I'm going to kind of add a little bit of a wing. And for the lower lash line, I'm going to take a mixture of the two mattes in here. So this one and this one, the purple and the like peachier color. And I'm just going to put that on the bottom lash line. I don't typically do a ton on the bottom lash line, but I'm going to take just like I'm tapping my brush off a lot, so I'm not getting a ton of it. All right, and then last, I'm going to take a little bit of this shade down here. It's like the lightest shade in the palette. It's kind of like a creamy white metallic. And I'm going to pop this in the inner corner. All right, for eyeliner, Martina chose the new Rare Beauty eyeliner in True Brown. I think I'm just gonna put this in the waterline. I kind of like where the shadow is for liner. I don't think I wanna add any additional liner. So I'm gonna put this in the waterline, but just in the outer half of my eye. I'm gonna curl my lashes with the Surratt lash curler. For mascara, we're gonna use the Jones Road mascara, which should be a good one for this look because this is a very intense mascara. It has a curved wand, but it's a pretty large wand. I'm gonna kind of wipe off some of the excess because I do find This formula can get a little bit clumpy at times, but it does really make your lashes stand out for sure. Last, for the lips, she picked my newest favorite lip liner. We were talking about it and she was like, yeah, use that. So this is the Dior Contour Lip Liner in Brown Fig. I absolutely love this. I think this color is gonna go well with this makeup too. For lips, we picked the BK Beauty lipstick in Kindness, which looks like that. It's like a really beautiful peachy pink. These BK Beauty lipsticks are fantastic. They are very pigmented, very opaque, but they're like a satiny finish. And finally, for a little bit of gloss, we did Patrick Ta Plumping Gloss in the shade Superficial. Oh, and for setting spray, she picked Hourglass Veil Setting Spray. All right, you guys, this is the final look. Let me know what you think. I love how this turned out. This is very different from what I would normally choose and what I would normally pair together, but that's why these videos are fun. It kind of gets me out of my comfort zone. I think what I picked for her is definitely more my style than it is hers, and this is definitely more her style than it is mine, but that's the fun of it. I love doing this type of challenging makeup look. I don't know, it's fun to just try something new every now and then. So hopefully we can do more of these videos. Maybe we can make this into a series if she wants to. I don't know, and we can do this like once a month or something. I don't know, but let me know what you thought of it in the comments, and don't forget to go check out Martina's video. It will be listed below in the description box. Make sure to go check out the video and subscribe to her channel if you are not already. And if you are new to my channel, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll stick around. I will have all the products I used today listed in the description box. I do use affiliate links, so I do make a commission if you shop through them. So thank you if you do. And follow me on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok, simply.blair1. And I will see you next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.